Hey, welcome back to Rusty Judgment. We got a Firebird, and it's super exciting for me, and I'm getting more nervous the more I dig into this car. I'll show you what I mean coming up next. Actually, I think you can see some of the unexcitement stuff right in this vicinity here. This is going on Rusty Judgment.
Yeah.
Dawn thinks this is super funny. Okay, let's just tell you what we got here. So, we bought a 1973 Firebird-ish. It has a VIN number. It has the bulk of the body. It actually has a clean title. The most valuable things on this car are the nose cone and the hood and the title. Beyond that...
What did the previous owner call this? What was his pet name for it?
The previous owner nicknamed this Almost.
I think that was very...
I think that was an extremely optimistic name. I think I would call this... maybe?
Almost Junkyard?
I mean, maybe it would work, and maybe it's a Firebird. But I will tell you that I will absolutely not be keeping it the way it is. How about let's just show you what the car is first. So it's a 73 Firebird. It has original front end in it currently. It has a rebuilt, which I was told by him that he rebuilt it. It's a Pontiac 350 small block. Board 40 over, and he says it has a bigger cam in it and other stuff. I can't verify any of that. There's no spark plugs in it, no carburetor, and the valve covers are just sitting on it.
He had built it but never started it, right?
Correct. And as you all can guess, I am not using this engine. It has a TH350 behind it. I am not using the transmission either. I'm going to take the engine and tranny out. We're going to put the 6-liter LS into it that I yanked out of a 3/4 ton 2003 Silverado this summer. So we're going to use that driveline. So let's maybe move on from that. It has a cage in it, which I was immediately excited about. Then the more and more that I look at this car, I think, do I just start over?
No.
So, he was making this a circle track car. He was making it where you could just drive round and round and round and round. I want to go round and round, but in a different format. I just want to be pivoting on the front tires, not making big ovals. So I want to turn it into a burnout car and kind of like a drift car, but I also want to drive it on the street. Currently, I would not drive this anywhere if it ran. I have a lot of grinding to do and a lot of welding to do.
So what would be the benefit of reworking the cage?
It bothers me.
I mean, just aesthetics, or?
Yeah, so basically, what bothers me, come over here and show from here. So what bothers me is that the cage is here and not leaned back here behind the pillar.
So you can see it through the side window.
So if I would have built this cage, I would have built it running up the contour and leaned back. I have a tendency to start something and then not want to just take it for what it needs to be, but take it to the full extreme.
Right.
And so I've been like juggling through my mind how to just make this like a full-on $100,000 race car for like $5 grand.
Yeah. So is that something that we could leave for now and then you could modify it in the future, or would that not make sense to try and mod it later on?
No, we could. We totally could. Which is what we're going to do, because I'm not going to totally cut this thing all apart. It may look like it in the next coming episodes.
Yeah.
The other thing, so the guy I bought this from did not do all of this work. He bought it in a much bigger disarray than I did. This is just mind-blowing, the amount of time and spot welding that was done when this rear panel costs $200. To just have bought a brand new rear panel and welded on the seams where it should go is $200 from Classic Industries.
So is that what you're gonna do?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But the problem is because he welded and cut and welded and cut and I may try and find another car. I may try and find
Here we go.
I may try and find another car because in my brain it would be ideal to me to cut the entire back off, throw this in the garbage pile because
it's hard to tell where that back piece would even where you line it up.
It's so cobbled together and modified very incorrectly.
Yeah, and the trunk doesn't come anywhere close to closing now, right?
No,
when you set that
the
on.
trunk latch. So this is the trunk latch. Mounts to a bracket right here that is non-existent that I could order, but this plate is incorrect. And so I couldn't. I mean, I could weld the trunk closed, but I need to put a fuel cell right here. So, if any of you know of anyone with a 70 to 73 Firebird, like, just the rest of the car could be garbage. I just want from here back. Like, and it doesn't even have to be ultra pretty. I just need somewhere straight to begin with.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to go into something good about the car.
Yeah.
Okay. It has a C4 rear end in it. So a Corvette C4 out of a C4 Corvette has been all designed and mocked up and welded in place here. Nothing is tight, like all of the bolts are loose. There is brackets missing. And so
Is it in that bin of stuff he gave you?
oh yeah. So I'm getting distracted with all the I don't like stuff everywhere and we got lots of bins of stuff. So it has a full custom rear frame and it has a full custom rear end and rear suspension setup. That is not completed, which I'll have to correct and complete. And then also I would like to take this on in here. These welds will hold, but they are nowhere near good looking. And so I'm gonna end up having to do lots and lots of grinding and re-welding and just, ow, I actually just got a chunk of metal in my finger from touching it. Okay, you take that back, let me get this out.
I will say though, Tom, we haven't got to the good stuff yet. For like the first 3 days after you bought it, you had this grin on your face. It's like kind of like when Corbin giggles when you say, like show him cars and stuff. You had kind of that same, but you had that same grin on your face.
I know. So what I was looking for is like a 70 to 74 Camaro.
Yeah. With
the big grille, that split bumper. But they're super expensive, they're super valuable. I would not smoke a wall with it.
Right.
This car, as much as it aches me to not try and make it pristine, which is what I'm gonna have to mentally be fighting myself from doing, this car is gonna be a good testament to kiss a wall.
You won't feel bad.
I won't. And I won't feel bad basically just butchering everything. Making it better than it is.
Yeah, I can't get any worse right
now.
No,
making it much better than it is. Yeah. But basically making it a full custom car and not something original. So I have a lot of work to do. I'm sorry, we're still going to talk about good things.
Yeah, let's get to the good things.
I have brand new brakes, brand new Corvette rear brakes for it, calipers, all that stuff is in bins, which we'll get to the bins. The other thing is, there is not a single wire in this car. They're all in a tote next to the car, but not a single wire in the car. So I will end up, granted I'm putting the LS in, so I'll use that harness for everything, but as far as gauges, headlights, taillights, anything creature comfort, I will have to wire all that.
So the good thing was the Corvette rear end, is that?
Oh yes, sorry, okay. Yeah, good thing Corvette rear end and brakes.
Okay.
I have the front and rear glass, also another good thing. We should start making a tally of good things. Alright, so this is all of the goodies that came with the car. This is the deck lid, brakes, I don't know. There's the gauges and the headlight covers and battery tray and just some miscellaneous here. I will probably not end up using most of this stuff. Like this I'll use. I'll just get different gauges, but a lot of it, there's like starter and power steering pump and stuff. All that's going to come off the LS driveline. Radiator, I will not use this. The shroud, I will try and use. This is the most fun bin of all. So, I told you that there's not a single wire in the car. Well, we found all the wires. They're in this tote. Also at the taillights, which is a good thing I got the taillights and marker lights. But from here down, that's just a big old bundle of wires. So my dad's currently going through the wiring on his car, and he thinks that's stressful. Oh, Dad. No, it's not.
We were joking that your dad said he gets a little overwhelmed with his car, how much there's to do, and then we said, oh, just look over at Tom's. You'll feel better about yourself.
Feel better.
And so the existing driveline, what are you going to do with that?
Sell it.
Okay, so that adds a little value. You might get a little bit of your money back.
Yeah, I mean, if I can... yeah, so the motor, I don't know what the motor is going to bring. It is a vintage Pontiac motor of the era that's been rebuilt. But yeah, so the motor and tranny will sell. The drive shaft, he actually had the drive shaft shortened already and everything. So the drive line is all connected, but I can't leave it alone. It's going to be a 6-liter LS. The front end, like the wheel bearing and hubs on the front end is shot, as are the brakes and other things, which I have all the components for. But so what I did already, I found this on Marketplace. So this is a C5 Corvette front end conversion kit. It's different spindles, hubs, wheel bearings, calipers, rotors, upper control arms, all of it that will work with all C5 Corvette components. For a third the price of what it would have retailed for on Summit Racing. So when I say that the previous owner should not have done any fab work or welding, these are the kinds of things I'm talking about. So this was a brand new quarter panel, patch panel, which he should have gone all the way to here with it, but he stopped here. He apparently couldn't get it. So what I originally thought he was making accidental cuts in it, but I think what's happening is he couldn't get the panel to lay down on the original. So I think he made slit cuts in it.
Yeah, like relief cuts.
Relief cuts so he could fold it down and tack the bejeepers out of it. The other thing, like, he patched a chunk here and like it's...
But because, I mean,
it's really not.
For what your purposes are you gonna grind and Bondo it, or what's your plan?
So, because the goal with this car is Cletus and cars, burnout contest, and drifting, and just all around good time, I'm not worried about it. I will weld all this up so it's not tacked the way it is, and I'll grind it close. But I'm not going to get OCD about it. I'm just going to skimmer with mud. Because at the end of the day, if I hit a wall pretty hard and wreck one of these quarters, I'll go on Classic Industries and I'll buy a full quarter. And a full quarter is up here, and it's everything all the way down into the body line up to here. So it would seam here, and it would be everything. Which is what this, well, actually, this guy should not have done any of it. Which is what somebody should have done. So I'm not worried about the quarters. They're ugly. They bother me. I'll make it look good, but that's it. It won't be correct. But the bulk of the work that I have before we get to LS swapping is suspension, finish this hole and change this floor thing. This, I'm ripping it out. So what I'm going to do is yank all this garbage out of here and just structurally make it better. It's really rough. And I'm more of a refined individual.
Yes, you are.
Yep. The other thing, so I don't know much about cages. This has got like a sticker on it or something. I know a lot of cages need to be certified to run at certain tracks.
Oh.
But my question about cages, if any of you are still watching this video, is from what I've seen is the harness needs to attach to a bar, go up and through the race seats, and then down to the bars on the floor. But so shouldn't there be a bar that comes off of here and straight back? So the harnesses can run? Huh?
Do you think he took this out of something else, or do you think he built it in here?
I think this hoop was purchased.
Okay.
But I think the rest of it was made here.
Okay.
Because I saw he had some pipe.
Okay.
And judging by the welds on some of
they kind of match some of the other work.
They kind of match the other welding work.
Yep.
But I do believe this hoop, the hoop part was bought.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Mm-hmm. Are you going to show the wheel on or no?
Oh yeah, I forgot. You guys want to see a wheel?
We want to see something good.
Something off.
Show us something pretty.
We'll show the nose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's going to be easy with a helmet on.
Yeah.
I'm using wheel spacers for the time being. Maybe down the road I will find a good set of wheels where the offset is way in. So what I mean by that is the wheel would mount like back inside of here. Can you see? Mm-hmm. The wheel would mount back in here and then all the tire and all that would be out.
Right. You wouldn't need it then.
So what the wheel spacer is doing is just pushing the tire out. Because if it doesn't have a spacer in, the tire is super close to all this suspension here.
Yeah, and it doesn't look good.
And it doesn't look good. It's like way in here. We want those babies poking out.
All right, put it on.
They don't poke out, but they're pretty close. I would believe it or not, I would like fatter tires.
So did you show the picture of the black Firebird that you saw? We should put that. That's what I saw where I was like, okay, like I can see now what this could look like.
Vision. So cool. Ideally, I would want this tire just like, I'd say, I don't know that I'd want it to poke, but I'd want it just in a little bit.
Yeah.
Which right now the suspension's all hung down, so it's hard to tell where it's at. Mm-hmm. But it's way better than, well, you want to go see the other side? All right. Can you tell it's way further in?
I think so, yeah. Okay. You can't even see it from here then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's gonna look good, I promise. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna try and get as much of the good looking stuff in the outro as I can. So there, okay, we'll get the nose of the car. So as you can tell, I have a lot of work to do. So next time, I think what we're gonna get done is we're gonna do the suspension, mount the wheels and tires up permanently, and then we're gonna address what's going on inside of this thing in here. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to keep along with that, or this, and we'll catch up with you next time. Bye-bye.